Let's see what's going on.
These brothers my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side, CJ Ike, now I gotta roll with ice. These brothers my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side, CJ Ike, now I gotta roll with ice.
Hey guys, how's it going? It's Paul with Spheric Reptiles. I thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm definitely going to need your comments on this video. Yesterday we were down at my friend Danny Cadena with Chain Reaction Exotics, and we were ultrasounding snakes down there. I think we ultrasounded some 20 animals just to see where they were at on this particular day, to give some baselines of their follicle development and more or less trying to predict when these females will be coming around and be ready to be paired up with the male. And I think that's one of the key benefits of using an ultrasound, is knowing when your females will be ovulating and whether it will be from 1 year to the next, if it'll be 1 month earlier or at the same time or 1 month after. And that's one thing that you can chart. Once you get that charted, I really think that from the research that I've seen, which is the reason why we bought the ultrasound, is that once you know the ovulation cycles, or when your female will be ready, not really the ovulation cycles, but when she's developing follicles, then you can know exactly when to pair that female up. After you get about 2 or 3 years under your belt, that female will probably stick to that same plan unless you choose not to breed her for that next year. So the way we're going to do it at Spheric Reptiles is we're going to do 2 years and then skip a year, 2 years and skip a year. And then after those females have bred for us about 4 times, then we're going to evaluate whether we want to pass them on to someone else or if we want to just keep them for our own collection and not breed them anymore. Because I think that after that, they would have given us everything that they could have given us. We've paired them up with every different combination that we could, and she's did a great job by that time. So we don't really want to keep punishing her and let her live out the rest of her life. So without anything else, guys, we're going to ultrasound some snakes, and just let me know what you think. All right, so the first female that we'll be looking at is our pastel gravel. Let's see if she'll cooperate with me. I'm trying to do all of this by myself, which is the whole reason why I have this Caxton 5600, is for the foot pedal, which is right here. This stays on the ground, and hopefully it'll make it a lot easier. When I was consulting with people before getting this, that was one of the things that I asked them about, was I compared the contact with this one. And the number one thing that they said is having the foot pedal saves a lot, because you want to be able to keep your hands on the snake as well as take good shots. So let's go ahead and see what we can get. Put some ultrasound gel on there. Definitely see eggs in there. So I got 1 shot there. And as you can see on the screen, I don't know if I can lighten it up or darken it or anything, but you can see that the shape of the egg is right there. So what I'll do is I will go to measure, and I will find the outer shape of this egg right here. I'll hit set. It's all the way off the screen. It's turned to the side. I would say right there, and it's at 42.8 millimeters for the egg or the follicle. And so what I'll do is I'll just take 1 more shot. You can see how the eggs are all jumbled up in there. As I move down, they're just nicely packed in there. It takes up the entire screen. Take 1 more shot, then she'll be done. So we got 42.8 with the first one. And I'll just go all the way to the edge of where I see the egg is at. And I'll hit set and come all the way across what's off the screen. Be about right there. Hit set. So she's at 42, but she has eggs. She's due to go any minute, or when I say any minute, any day. But I just wanted to make sure that I could confirm the eggs. I'll just wipe her off, and then we'll go on to the next one. All right, so hey guys, this is really exciting for me, just seeing how these animals are procreating and things like that, developing follicles, and when I pair them, that the male is doing his job and transferring sperm to the female. But this is our lesser bongo. Her name is Jess. And you can see that she's getting kind of bigger through here. And so what I'll be doing now is trying to just make sure that I can see what she's got as well. So let's see. Let's see, paste this up. See, she has a follicle right there. And I'm looking at this right here. And let's see, let me go ahead and click measure so I can redo it and then hit set. All right, so that one's 15. I'll measure from the other side too. To the very top. And I'm looking right in here, guys. So she's about 15 millimeters. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and get another one. Just one more shot on her. Sometimes I can do it really quick and sometimes I just can't. It's just really weird. Especially if she's moving. There's one right there. Took a while. But as you can see right there, the outline of it. So then I'll just come back over here and I'll click measure again or set for the second set. And it's saying it's 15.4 as well for that one. Put this up here. So you can see that now she's at 15.4 millimeters. So what I'll do with her again is wipe her off and then go ahead and put her up. All right, so I know that the camera angle's skewed, but I'm doing this by myself. So here we have our yellow-bellied pied. Her name's Doja Cat, and we're gonna see where she's at. She's been paired up with a red striped clown. So right here, we're trying to make some red striped yellow belly head clown, double head clown pieds. And so she is still in shed. She's about to come out of it, but I'm gonna try to see what I can get. I don't know how much that skin layer would do anything, but it's such a small amount of skin. How much the scale layer would do. But hey guys, you know, I mean, as I do this on the fly, I'm trying not to edit this video so that you can actually see the good things and the bad things that I'm doing here. And so that's why I always welcome the comments. Make sure this probe is on the right side. It has a little nodule here at the top. So that's what always faces up towards the head. Just some pretty big follicles right there. Again, guys, you can see right there the follicle size. This is moving down from the heads over it this way. And so that's the follicle size there. So I'll go here and I will hit, I can measure from the top on this one. So I'll hit set. And I come back down. And right there, and I can see that she's at 20 millimeters for that one. And I'll go to the other side. And when you're doing these, you want to get the biggest image that you can. So if it starts small, work to get the biggest image that you can so that you can get the full circumference of the follicle. So in doing that, I'm gonna hit set right here. Let me go back to measure. And come over here because I messed it up. So it's measured and set right. So then as you move it across, you can actually see where this number increases. And so she's at 20 to 21 millimeters. A lot of the times they get, I don't know what it is about the ultrasounding, but the snakes calm down. Otherwise, hyper snake will calm down. And so that's one of the things I do like about ultrasounding is since we do this once a month, then I know that I can reproduce it. And as I always say, you develop the habit. The snakes kind of know that you're the good person. You don't hurt them. You don't harm them. You're the food guy. You're the water guy. You're the shit changing guy. You're the shed removing, the enclosure cleaning guy. You're all that. So again, 21.8. So I can put 21.5 for her. With that, I will go ahead and wipe her off like I've been doing with the other ones. And go ahead. I'm just going to leave her water dish in there because she'll be getting paired up again today to the red stripe. And that's what I typically like to do is I like to ultrasound them, then put the male in. I mean, that way it's all in the same day. It's all the same amount of disruption. It's within like maybe 5 minutes of whenever I ultrasound them. So I know I'm shooting this video, so it'll probably be 30 minutes after. But at the end of the day, this is something that you can streamline. So I found that doing it this way is more effective for me. And I ultrasound 2 days after I feed, and then I add the male at the same time. So that way I know that the food's not going to come up. And if they do poop, that seems to help in the breeding process. Is amazing. As amazing as it is, they make a mess, but of course they have to clear out their digestive systems in order for the reproductive systems to interact, because everything comes out of the same hole. So, but anyway, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and slide this all over and put a water dish back in there. And I bought these from I think the Dollar Tree. And what I like about them is that the snakes can get all the way inside of them and soak, and they won't really turn it over. And so it allows them to take a bath without having a bowl, and they can fully immerse their bodies in there. And if I see that they're in there for prolonged periods of time, then I will check them. But if I just see that they want to soak, I can add more water to it. Right now it's at the lowest level. But if I see that she's actually soaking, or any of our snakes that have this, I'll put more water in it so that they can fully get the benefit of the soak. Yeah, something I forgot. Yeah, she is in shed. I'll have to wait until she gets out of shed before I pair her up. So that's one correction that I'm making to the video, is that I won't be able to pair her up until she comes out of that shed. So, because it wouldn't do any good, right? I don't want y'all thinking, man, this guy's an idiot. He's talking about pairing up animals when they're in shed. No, that's not what I'm talking about. That's why I did the correction. I realized what I said, and I just want you guys to know that. All right, so this is our Phantom Cinnamon. I'll turn her to where you can probably get a better view of her. And she has a little bit of a food response. You see our heads there. She's not in shed. She is always looking for a meal at this point. She just came out of a shed about 4 or 5 days ago, actually 5 days ago. So I'm ultrasounding her to see where she's at. And let's see. And I mean, you got to go through some steps, like when they have food responses, to make sure that you don't get struck. But even if I do get struck, I know it's not something that she's doing on purpose. So as I come in here with, normally once the gel gets on them, they're okay. Let me go down here. It's making quite a mess. There they are right there. It took a while to find them, but I got them right here. So I'll come over here and I will hit set. Go across. And it looks like she's at 12 millimeters. Man, I made a big mess on that one, but I just really, you know, I'm not gonna edit this video because of like when I'm not able to get it. Because I want you guys to see, because I really want feedback on maybe something that you see that I'm doing right or something that you see that I'm doing wrong, just to improve my technique. I'm trying to get my practice in. So on some snakes, and sometimes it's just like I'm right on it, but on other times it seems like I'm not. So that's what I'm needing help on. But when I do see the follicle, I can recognize it. I know where the gallbladder is, you know, so snake anatomy I got. But this is one thing that I definitely need help with. But, you know, hey, it's a work in progress. But that is our Phantom Cinnamon, and she's being paired up to a Batman. So I'll put her back because I know I'll be pairing her up as well as the Lesser Bongo today. And, of course, you know, we'll have to wait on the Yellow Belly Pod. But just to do a little bit more, I think I'm going to look at one more animal. All right, this is our Orange Dream Black Pastel. That's a double head for Clown Pod. And her name is Oprah. We named her after Oprah because when we bought her, she was our most highly valued snake. And I just wanted to name her after Oprah anyway. You know, I grew up watching the Oprah Winfrey show. But I'm going to go ahead and see where she's at. She's only sitting at about 1,200 grams. So I noticed she's not big enough, but I'm just trying to track her and see if I can introduce a male to increase her feeding response to maybe get her up to speed for this upcoming fall. So without anything else, let me go ahead and get started with this. All right, I got a string right there. It takes a while, but see, I got the string right there. Like you can see, and then it's actually 2 lines that they're making for follicles. So they have one that they're fertilizing, and they have another one for a backup for the next year, because it does take them a while, a lot of energy to make these. But again, I will measure it. So I will go up here, and she looks like she's really small, maybe 5 millimeters. But again, I can't palpate, so. Yeah, she's at 5.6 millimeters, so I noticed she's nowhere near close to going. But at 5 millimeters and about 1,100 or 1,200 grams, this is right where she should be. So now she's beginning to start making follicles. So over the course of the remainder of the year, the next 6 months, hopefully she'll get up to size. And if she does, then we'll try to see what happens. If not, then we'll save her for the spring. And if not that, then the fall for next year. But I definitely want to make sure that she has the size and the capacity to actually carry out a full term of developing follicles and ovulating. So I'll go ahead and put her up.